There we go. Well, good. I want to welcome everyone to our April state call. As you know, we try to have these on the fourth Wednesday of every month. So I'm glad you could make it. And we'll update you on a lot of things and introduce you to some new people. So I hope you'll find the call very informative this evening. Let's talk about our agenda. First thing, as we always do, we'll go through our vision statement and our mission statement. Then we'll cover grassroots. Our state grassroots coordinator, George Ward, will give us a little bit of an update. Then I'm going to introduce new leaders to you. We've got a group of new leaders that very anxious to introduce to everyone. I'm also going to cover tonight positions that we have still open in our state, both on the support side as well as the operations side. So we'll talk about those. You need to be aware of these, and in case you know of someone that may have an interest in any of these positions, or if you do. So we'll talk about the positions we have open in our state. Then we'll go through some tracking reports that we normally go through, the districts per region. We'll talk about our recruiting needs there. The petition tracking summary. We'll summarize the training program. As I said, it appears that Rachel is ill today. Last time I talked to her, she's just very tired. So doesn't look like she's going to be with us tonight. So I'll give you a little summary on the training program. Then we'll get into a legislative update from Paul, and a comms team update from our state communications coordinator, Ken Kashuba. He's not on as yet, but he said he was going to be a few minutes late tonight, so I'm sure he'll be with us by the time we get to his section. So let's get started then. The first thing I want to do is our vision statement, and that is our vision is to build a Hoosier grassroots community of citizens and legislators dedicated to the constitutional concept of self-governance. Okay. Our mission statement, now these are goals, as I've said before, these are goals in our mission statement that will get us closer to realizing our vision statement. Won't get us there all the way, but it will get us closer to realizing the vision statement. So our mission goals are to fill positions, number one. That's fill all the support positions, all the region captain positions, and 70% of our district captain positions. As you know, we have 100 districts here in Indiana. So we're looking, by the end of this year, we're looking to have 70 district captains in place. We got a good start, but we got a long way to go. Second goal that we're striving to achieve is to, of course, strengthen our legislator relationships. And Paul will be talking about this a little later on, our legislative plan. Number three, grassroots growth. We want to get to 30,000 supporters, 30,000 petition signers in the state of Indiana. And we'll go over our tracking summary and show our progress toward reaching the 30,000 goal. And of course, the final goal in our mission statement is to educate ourselves, educate our supporters, educate the public on the Constitution, what Article 5 is all about, what Convention of States is all about, what is a Convention of States, how are we going to bring this about. So that's an educational process that has to be ongoing all the time. Anybody have any comments or questions so far? All right. Well, let's get into the grassroots area. And George, are you ready to come on? I would like to ask that all the speakers this evening, if at all possible, when I get to your section and call your name, if you could turn on your camera so that we can see you while you're talking. And then when you're finished, you can turn it off. But it always helps to be able to see the individual talking. So, George, are you on yet?
Yeah, I'm here. I'm here. George Ward, the grassroots coordinator.
I don't see you on camera. Is your camera on?
Yeah, I'm seeing me.
Well, I don't see you.
Anybody
all right,
else?
Go ahead.
All right. Well, so far, we have a total of 26 district captains and district captain team members. Of those, well, we have kind of good and bad news. Two applicants for district captain team members have been rejected. There's a couple more that are right on the edge, two more that are right on the edge. I'm going to be giving them one more call attempt. And if I don't hear back from them by the end of the week, then they're going to be rejected also. We've had two new assignments to district captain team members. And we've also had two new applicants come into the Legislative Management Tool, the LMT. That is just this week, so it's balancing out pretty good. For a total of district captains and DC team members, I came up with a total of 26. That will probably go down as a couple other people get rejected. So
yeah. Now, I'm sorry, George. Go ahead.
I was asking if you had any questions. So
okay. When George used the term rejected, that is, I know that sounds kind of harsh, but we do, in fact, we do have people that apply for to be a district captain, and of course, the process that we take, George reaches out to them when it comes to district captains. Now, George makes the first initial attempt at contacting that person, and then if he makes contact and has the interview, then I'm the next one generally that talks to the individual. But if we have individuals that that are unresponsive to George reaching out to them, you know, after so long, we have to move on. And so that's when the term rejection comes in. You know, a person may have second thoughts. Maybe they decided they don't want to do this after all. So if they become unresponsive, then the next step is, in fact, to reject them. So that's where.
If I can add to that.
Yeah.
When somebody is rejected, they're rejected in the back office of Citizen Builder, and we also send them a rejection email from Citizen Builder. And I found it pretty interesting that the two people that have come back into the LMT were two people that I had sent email rejection letters to earlier this week. And it's kind of like put the fear of God in them or something, I don't know. But I have an appointment to talk to one of them tomorrow around noon or so. And the other one, I haven't scheduled anything with him yet. But
okay.
I just thought it was pretty interesting that the rejection email came out and they decided to hey, wait.
Right. Yeah. Well, sometimes that does happen. Yeah, and that's good. That's good that they see
All right.
what's happening to them, and so they get back in contact with us. All
Yep.
right. All right. Thanks, George.
Sure.
Thank you.
Hi, this is Larry Kehoe.
Hi, Larry.
I can't seem to get the conference call app to work. It keeps on logging me into an old conference call, and it won't let me change the access code.
Really?
Yep.
Well, you're on now.
Yeah, I called in on that line that charges me $0.01 a minute for some reason.
Oh my goodness. Oh, sorry about that.
I can handle it.
Okay, hang on then. Mute yourself so we don't get any echo for the time being. Okay. Next thing I want to do is I want to introduce to you and let you know some new leaders that we have come on board in April, as well as some other leaders that have progressed to a certain point in their training. First of all, we have 3 new district captains that have come on board in April. That's the district captain in District 21, that's Sean Carter. District 54, Luella Mazingo. And District 56, Thomas Schultz. Now, Thomas is also going to be in another group here. The next group that I want to introduce to everyone is the group that has completed Module 2 of the training. And our practice has been to, for individuals that have completed Module 2, and that is that we would then invite them to the state call that we're having right now, and that we would give them the opportunity to go on camera and introduce themselves. So, Larry Kehoe, District 39, are you, can you get your camera working?
Yeah, that's the part I can't get to. It won't let me come onto this conference call with the camera.
It won't let you do it. Okay.
No.
Well, we can hear you talking. You want to say a few words?
Sure. My name is Larry Kehoe. I'm from Carmel, Indiana. And I found Convention of States, I think, by following Tom Coburn on Twitter and following one of his tweets and then signing the petition online. And then you guys followed up.
All right. Well, good deal. I think, Larry, actually, we got you here as completing Module 2, but you've even gone further than that, haven't you?
Yeah, I think I'm just waiting for Rachel to finish me up when she gets everybody else ready.
Yeah, yeah. Good job, man. Good job. Okay, District 27, Casey, are you on tonight? I didn't see you. Oh, Casey's a pretty busy guy. He's a doctor, and so didn't know if he was going to be with us tonight or not. District 33, Gary Moore. Gary, I know you got audio. Do you have camera yet?
I haven't got camera yet, no.
All right, all right. Well, Gary, you want to introduce yourself then?
Well, yeah, my name's Gary Moore. I live in Farmland, Indiana, which is a big metropolis. I got involved with the Convention of States. I heard about it on Sean Hannity, and then I had an email that suggested I might want to look at it, and I found it very interesting. And throughout my lifetime, I've kind of seen the politics of this country degrade to the point where we'd like to do something about it, but of course I didn't know that there was anything we could do. So the Convention of States kind of spurred my interest in participating in correcting the ship here.
Okay. All right. Well, good, good. Glad to have you, Gary. And I'm just looking at Rachel's. I know you've completed Module 2. Have you, in fact, gone any further yet? Or are you still...
Module 2 is where I'm at.
Module 2. Okay. Okay, good. Good job. Thank you, Gary. Okay, now, District 56, Thomas Schultz. He's not only brand new, but he's already completed Module 2. And now, Thomas, I know you had camera. All right, can you still have it?
Yeah, I still have it.
There you are.
Yes,
Good.
sir.
Can see you okay.
Oh, that's good. My name's Tom Schultz. I'm in Richmond, Indiana.
Good.
And I found the Convention of the States on Facebook.
Okay. Okay.
That's back in the days when I was actually preaching for a Convention of the States. And everybody argues with me. Don't want one of those. So here I am.
Well, good. Well, we're glad to have you. And congratulations on getting Module 2 done so quickly. So keep up the good work.
Okay.
Thanks, Thomas. Okay, Larry Hudson, are you on tonight? Didn't know if Larry was going to be able to make it or not. Okay. All right. Okay, well, we have a gentleman, the first one to complete our training program, and that's out of District 68, Larry Wee. Larry, are you on tonight?
I am.
And
I think even my camera's working.
And your camera's working. Oh, boy.
All right.
Well, glad to have you. You want to congratulations on completing the program.
Thank you.
Rachel just raked you over the coals, I'm sure, and
she did. It was pretty tough.
it's pretty tough.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. Well, tell us a little bit about you, Larry.
Yeah, I'm from West Harrison, Indiana, and that is the extreme southeast corner of the state. It's only about 25 miles from Cincinnati, Ohio. And I'm interested to hear Thomas has had an interest in the Convention of States for some time, because I had reached the conclusion myself almost 10 years ago that a Convention of States is really needed to change the course of the political direction that we're heading in the country. And in fact, had at some point started my own effort, but wasn't able to go anywhere with it. So I was really excited to find out that others had been far more successful than me in bringing resources in a really fabulous organization to the task. Heard about it on Hannity and couldn't get home fast enough to sign up. So
right.
Really excited to be part of this. And I'd like to thank Dale, you and Rachel for putting the effort out to establish the training. It's not arduous at all, but it does really provide, I think, fabulous tools that really aren't very difficult to master. I mean, I know as I get into them, I'll stumble around here and there a little bit, but by and large, I think that the tools are great. Pretty easy to use and great ways of collecting the data. And the training from the other gentleman on the call also, I think, targeted great to help prepare folks who haven't done any of this before what they're going to come across when you go out there and try to engage your group the first time. I've got a little bit of experience because I did some Tea Party work, so I know what it's like to go out there and be viewed as the crazy guy on the corner, which sometimes you are when you start an effort like this. But it's taking that first step and getting that first follower, that first supporter, and that's where you start building it. So I'm looking forward to getting started.
Well, good. Well, thank you, Larry. And this was our intention, was to provide new district captains with some grounding, some basics, and there's a lot more to learn, and obviously we'll want you to go ahead and continue to do that to educate yourself. But you've hit it right on the head as to what our intention was in developing this training program. So thank you very much for your going through this, and congratulations to you. So,
okay, thank you.
Glad to have you. Thank you very much. Okay, one more person. Now, there's some other people that are very close to finishing the training program, and I'll mention them when we get into the training section of our presentation tonight. But according to Rachel, Larry is the first one officially to complete, but I know we have a few others that are very close. So we'll mention you in just a bit here. One other new person that we have that has come on board with us, and this is a volunteer. You know, we have a category of volunteers now in Convention Estates that you actually apply for to be a volunteer, and this is they're kind of a super volunteer type group. So we've got a few people in that group, and we have a young lady that came in April. She's a senior administrative assistant at Eli Lilly. Very talented, has a lot of skills. So her name is Stephanie Fortune, lives in the Indianapolis area, and we're going to form a kind of an administrative group of volunteers. They'll report to Rachel as our Administration and Services Director, and Rachel then will assign these people tasks throughout the organization as needed. So, you know, it might be helping with phone calls, it might be helping input data, I don't know, whatever it might be. But Rachel will direct that group. But anyway, I just wanted to let you know Stephanie's just joined us. We're going to give her a little Module 1 training, and then we'll introduce you to her on the May call. Okay? Okay, next thing I wanted to cover was these are the positions that we still have open in the state. We're still looking for a coalitions director. Now, any of these positions, all of these positions, as a matter of fact, there's a description, as you probably already know, on the website under the Take Action menu selection. And you can go in and read a job description for each of these positions. We're still looking for a coalitions director. We're looking for videographers. We're looking for a media liaison again. Our last media liaison did not work out, so we're looking for another media liaison. And Ken Kashuba, in his section tonight, I want him to address the videographers and the media liaison a little bit more, since they are part of his comms team. And of course, we're looking for region captains, and we only have one region captain in our whole state right now. So we're looking for region captains, and that's a position that's very critical that we want to get those filled. All right. Anyone have any questions on any of this or anything we've talked about so far? Okay. All right, let's talk about then very quickly the region breakdown and districts that we have per region. You've seen this chart before, and you see here we have 9 regions and the districts that are assigned to each region. Gary Harbaugh is our lone region captain right now. He's the senior region captain. Okay. The red districts are the ones we have existing district captains in, and the yellow ones are new district captains. And I probably haven't got everybody listed here, but I came up with 21 total between existing and new, which leaves us 79 districts open in our state. Now, down below, I've got a little summary on our recruitment goals. You know, in our mission statement, the very first one was to fill positions. Well, if for district captains, if we want to get to 70%, that means for each region here, I've indicated how many district captains we need in that region to attain 70%. The red line shows us how many remain to be filled in those regions. So here in Region 1, we need 8. We got to find eight district captains. Here in Region 5, we needed 4. We only need 1 more to fill, and so on. So, and of course, with region captains, we wanted to get 1 in each region, and we only have 1 in place. So in Region 3, we don't need to fill another region captain, but in the others, we need a region captain. Support positions, we have 7 of the 10 filled, so we're looking for 3 more support positions to fill our support group. Anybody have any questions on this? Also, I want to make you aware that these charts are all on our Indiana Leaders site. If you want to look at them closer or study them any closer, you can find them on the Indiana Leaders site. Okay, let's talk about our tracking summary, monthly tracking summary. This is petition growth. You know, our goal is to get to 30,000 down here. Well, when we started doing the tracking, which was back in July of 2017, we needed to acquire another 15,000 petition signers. So by region, then we needed to find 15,000 more. We have 7,146 yet to go. So here in column 1, these are the petition signers for the month of April, for a total of 1,148. I really thought that we might break the record in April, but we didn't. In February, we had just short of 1,400 new petition signers. So it was a good month, but we didn't quite break the record. This column shows the year-to-date petitions that have been signed for each region. And in this column then indicates the number of petitions remaining in order to get us to the 15,000, which would put us to 30,000 as our goal. And over to the right, we're showing the outstanding districts in each region, with District 32 in Region 6 being the leading district for the month of April with 32 petition signers. Once again, this is on the Leaders site, as well as the breakdown of petition signers by region, by district. That's all on the Indiana Leaders site if you want to delve into the numbers any further. Anybody have any questions or comments? All right. Training program. Looks like Rachel's not with us tonight. So just a little summary. As we mentioned earlier, Larry Wee is the first one to complete the training program. Other individuals that are very close to completing, Mindy, it looks to me like you could be completing Module 5 this week, if I understand this correctly.
Yeah, tomorrow at 4 I should be finishing up.
Good.
Hey.
Well, then on our May call, we'll have you give us about a 15-minute summation of everything that you've learned. Is that okay? Mindy, like I said, is very close to finishing. Larry Kehoe, Terry King, existing district captain, is very close to finishing up. Tim Heidenreich, an existing district captain, and Gary Harbaugh, our region captain, is also close to finishing. So we should have, on the May call, we should have a number of people to announce as being completed through the training program. So that's all I'm going to say on our training program this evening. I know Rachel's done a super job, I think, and I know she worked very, very hard at putting together a good training program. So I hope you all have, I mean, I've heard a lot of good things, so I hope you all appreciate what she has done. I will mention that we are putting together a Module 6, which will be for anyone that is interested in learning more about being a region captain. So if you have an interest, please let Rachel know, and we'll schedule this Module 6. I'm going to be involved in that, and we'll talk about what we're looking for in our region captains. It's a different job, different responsibilities than being a district captain. So we want to talk about that with you if you're interested in being a region captain. Anybody have any questions in that regard? Okay, all right. Okay, well, I've talked enough. Paul, are you ready?
Yes, I am.
All right. You want to come on camera then?
I should be there now.
Yeah, I got this. There you are. I couldn't see you. I had to move my little attendance chart there. Okay, you want to give us an update, Paul, on the legislative plan?
Sure. We've had a lot of people complete the legislative module in the training. It's actually been sent to 18 people, 13 of which have already completed that. As far as meetings with legislators, Dale and I have been knocking out quite a few at the most recent Lincoln Day dinners in DeKalb County and Allen County. My gosh, I don't know. Do you have the spreadsheet? Are you going to be able to show that, Dale?
Yeah, I was gonna. This is my summary spreadsheet, and I don't have yours. This is the new tracking report that I'm putting together with Paul's help to track our legislative contacts, and this is just a summary. Paul gives me the individual reports, the individual legislators involved, but like he mentioned, he and I have been attending Lincoln Day dinners here the past couple weeks, and we've accumulated 11 legislator contacts in those dinners. So we're going to be developing this further as time goes on, because it's important to make those contacts. So, Paul, you have anything else you wanted to say about that?
Well, first of all, one of those 11 contacts is a lunch that I had with Senator Holdman on Monday, and he was our sponsor in the Senate for SJR 14. And I presented the 34 Ready strategy to him, and it really resonated. He liked it. And he was talking about perhaps once we get to session or a little closer to it, of helping to organize a meeting of the legislators to talk about some of those issues of how do we select commissioners, what amendments do we want to support. We talked through a lot of the issues, and it was just a great conversation. So I think he's all in here for moving forward with the 34 Ready agenda. As far as the other 10, though, as I said, those were contacts that Dale and I made at events like the Lincoln Day dinners. I think a couple of them are contacts I made at an Allen County Right to Life legislative forum. And those kind of contacts, don't expect like you have to talk a lot about Convention of States. When you're at those kind of events, it's just enough to say hi to them, make sure you have a Convention of States pin or something so they know what you're representing, but it's certainly not going to be a time when you're going to get any substantive issues in front of them or anything like that. But even those kind of casual contacts that are really quick, we would still like to have those logged as action reports and Patriot games because it's a matter of those kind of repeated contacts are going to get you known to the legislator and result in a more substantial meeting, so maybe something at their office or at a coffee shop or whatever that might be. I see Dale's got some pictures there from our recent Lincoln Day dinners. The one in the bottom left there, Dale, I forgot to log that where I met Donald Trump and Mike Pence.
Yeah.
They weren't too talkative, but you know, the Trumpster let me put his arm around him, so I felt good about that.
Well, and I talked to him too, so there's 4 more contacts. Yeah, these. Go ahead. I'm sorry, Paul.
Well, go ahead, Dale. I was going to change the subject. Finish up on the pictures here.
Well, I got something I want to tell you about something that happened at these Lincoln Day dinners. One of the dinners that I thought was very important. Paul, stay on because this involves you. Yeah. But these 2 pictures here, these were taken at the Lincoln Day dinner in Auburn, Indiana for DeKalb County. And this gentleman here that's standing next to Paul is Representative Ben Smaltz. He has been involved, obviously a supporter. He has been involved in Convention of States ever since the Mount Vernon meeting. He actually attended the Mount Vernon meeting with, I guess, we've been with Senator Long, right?
Right.
And that's where this whole thing got started, or a lot of it. And he attended, he was a commissioner at the simulation. So big time supporter for Convention of States. Then over here in the these pictures, all the other 4 pictures here were at the Allen County GOP Lincoln Day dinner. This is Gary Harbaugh. The skinny guy here in the middle is me, and then Paul here on the end. They held a debate there, the 3 senatorial candidates. And Paul had an opportunity to introduce his daughter, Maya, to Liz Brown, Senator Liz Brown. So that was a good meeting. But I want to talk about this meeting here. This gentleman in the middle is Representative Christopher Judy, District 83. I met him last year at this event, and we saw him again this year. He voted against us in our resolution in Indiana, and his reason was based on the fear of a runaway convention. Well, now last year I greeted him, and I knew that he had voted against us, and it was a cordial meeting, but, you know, it was, well, thank you, nice to meet you, hopefully we can change your mind, you know, I'm for it, he's against it. That's as far as it went. Well, this year, and he voted against it out of fear of a runaway convention. Well, this year, we were standing together. Again, it was very cordial, and he mentioned, well, you know, I'm still concerned about the runaway convention. And Paul spoke up and said, well, so are we. And when Paul said that, I could tell this guy, I could tell Christopher Judy's, the look on his face changed. He was expecting us to, you know, try and talk to him, try and convince him. Did you notice that, Paul?
Yeah, that was intentional.
Yeah.
As a lead-in to talk to him about 34 Ready and ask him for a meeting to talk about that.
Exactly, and I think I think you opened the door. You opened another door here with him to have that meeting, and my point that I'm getting to is this 34 Ready program. It's very good. It's going to open doors, especially it'll open doors with people that were opposed to us and before. So I just wanted to point that out and say that was a good job, Paul, what you did.
Thank you. One other thing before we move on, Dale, I did want to mention some stuff, maybe a little bit behind the scenes that I've been working on. A week or so ago, I received from National through Rodney a list of all the candidates for office here in Indiana, and I got links out to all of them. It was pretty close to 250 for them to complete a survey on where they stand on Convention of States. I'm still waiting for the responses that they put in to be posted or loaded into the database where we can view those. So once those are available, I'll share the link on Slack so any of you can look at it, and we can start taking a look at some of the people running for office and how they feel about Convention of States.
Okay, great. Thanks, Paul.
Sure.
Okay, let's move on to our comms team. Ken, I don't see you on here yet. Ken,
I'm here. Can you hear me?
Oh, there you are.
Yeah. We had to come on by phone tonight.
Oh,
Didn't get to my hotel room in time to get my computer up. So.
Where are you located tonight?
I'm over in Sydney, Ohio.
Sydney, Ohio.
Yeah.
All right.
Up in the northwest section of Ohio.
Okay.
And came in about 12 or 13 minutes, I guess, after 8. So missed the very beginning, but so
you're
far,
in the northwest corner of Ohio.
Not the corner, but down a little bit. Not quite up as far as Lima, but in between Lima and Troy.
Oh, okay.
If you're not familiar with Sydney, it's not a real big spot of Ohio, but that's where I am.
I was just saying you were getting close to my house, and
was I?
Yeah, I just wanted to tell you not to come by, but
okay, that's good. Yeah, especially if you don't have any dinner prepared, I'm not coming by.
Right, it's dinner's over, so.
Okay, yeah. No, I've been highly entertained so far by your meeting. It's working out really well, and good job, Paul. I wanted to extend that. Everything sounds great with what you've done there. So just wanted to get a congrats in there to Paul. So moving on to the comms team, and I do appreciate you, Dale, getting those pictures and video to me. I'm going to be working on that this weekend and putting together a little something for our
Good.
Facebook page, yep, and then for our website. And I guess that's where I'll start tonight to kind of get you where I'm at that point. I've got a state page in the workings to address some of the things that we talked about here on the way back, and just to kind of recap for those that are on the call, maybe new or maybe had missed our last call. We are developing a state page with the focus being on events and really kind of being an open source type meeting place for people that are either already volunteers or maybe, coming about to find out more about Convention of States, and we want to use it as a place to kind of meet and greet and personalize and get to know each other better. And some of the things that we'd like to do there as far as advertising events, and we'd like to put together some things that will bring regions together for everything from a local hamburger barbecue to regular regional or state events that might be going on in our state. So I'm hoping to have that state page ready to go here by the first week of May or so, so that's ready to attach to our regular website.
Okay.
The Citizens Builder. So with that in mind, we will go ahead and address a couple of things that you had talked about there, Dale, as far as positions needed. And our comms team is definitely in need of a few positions, which we've had some trial and error and some runs at it, but we haven't really been able to secure a steady stream of people that to fill some important ranks in the comms team, and that's starting out with the media liaison. We really are looking for a go-getter type person, somebody with an outgoing personality that loves to interact with our state media, our radio stations, our television stations, to really kind of spearhead events and other types of coordinate other types of communications between our group and our local media, so that we can continually keep Convention of States in the forefront in our state, even though we are past state. We still, in order to reach some of these goals that Dale's talking about, as far as petition signers and new volunteers and ways that we can help other states, we're going to need a strong person to step into a media liaison position. So those that are new and coming on, if you happen to know anybody or run into somebody in your region that might fit that profile, turn them over to Dale or I, and we'll try and get that position filled sometime here in the next, hopefully the next 30 or 60 days. I'd like to see a media liaison join our group. And then as far as videographers are concerned, right now, and we started out for a while, we had 3 or 4. We were looking pretty good, but it's a position I started with, and right now it's I guess I'm the only one filling it. So we're not looking for, we don't have to have professionals. You don't have to have a $2,000 camera and lighting and a crew that follows you around.
And I want to stress, Ken, I want to stress this point that
Go ahead.
That we're not looking for professional videographers here.
No.
This could be anyone with a smartphone that likes to do video. And
who doesn't like to do video nowadays? I mean,
our plan has been all along to have these part-time videographers scattered all across the state, so that they can cover events going on in their particular areas, interview new district captains, or interview new people in our organization. So you don't have to be a professional by any means. Ken, you'll do the editing, am I right? They don't even have to edit them.
Don't have to do any editing, and we'll actually. I'm working on a little bit now. We're working on going to work on a few short training type videos or training sessions that we can help somebody with if they're really just if they'd like to do it but don't have any experience. Just a couple of real basic things that we don't normally can do to make things to make videos very, very editable and very workable. And then, like I said, it doesn't have to be professional, just as long as you're covering some of the basic things as far as, you know, audio and lighting and things like that, and some of the questions you might be asking. But yeah, you don't have to. Again, we're not looking for a pro. If you've got some experience, all the better. And we're just looking for again, people that can be in different parts of the state to cover things that are going on in your own regions and submit that information, which will eventually get edited and put onto our Citizens Builder and our local Facebook page and our eventual state page. So,
hey, you district captains out there, you should all be considered videographers.
There you go.
So
there you go. So we'll hold a couple of real casual training type sessions for those that want to, you know, step in and join it. Probably the easiest thing to do. We probably do some of that on our biweekly state comms team call. We can do some of that so that people can get just some basic stuff, and we'll try and put together, like I said, a refresher type video course out there where people can review it before they step into that first interview.
All right. Good.
Speaking of interviews, I will get you up to speed, Dale. I know you gave me a list of people which I've been in contact or have sent out contact for. I've only heard from one so far, and this is just recent communication, so it's not like this has gone on for a long time. I'm expecting probably to hear from some of our new district captains within the next couple of days. But I did get one discouraging response, which I'm not sure you're even aware of yet, Dale, and that is Terrence. Terrence. Milton was his last name, or
Terrence
I'm going blank.
Roselle.
Okay.
In Indianapolis.
In Indianapolis, yeah. He is. I did talk. He communicated with me today and said he would have loved to have done an interview, but he's moving to Ohio. He's relocating.
Right. We knew that. We know that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So,
yeah.
Terrence wasn't able, but I'm looking, and you know, even some of those that I'm not initially had on the list. What we're looking for there is just, you know, tell your story, how you got involved, you know, what it was that made you sign up and want to get involved and get started with this. You know, those type of stories and just, you know, some of the backgrounds of people that are coming aboard are very interesting and very diverse, and it's the kind of stuff that just makes for great media, you know,
yep.
and so we're going to hope to have some of those interviews done here within the next couple of weeks so that we can start using some of that material on our state communication pages.
Great.
So with that, okay. I think that pretty much wraps up where we're at and what we're doing. And our next call, the state comms call, will be on the 30th, Monday night at 9.
Okay. All right. Thanks, Ken. Thank you.
Thanks.
The next person, John Ackerman, you got camera tonight? I want to focus on you here.
Well, you've got my face there.
Yeah, I got your face here.
Yeah.
I guess we'll go with that. But I wanted to recognize John tonight. If you all haven't seen this, I strongly encourage you to go to the general channel on our Slack team and watch the video of John doing a radio interview with WHBU AM 1240. I assume that is out of Anderson, right, John?
Correct. It's in Anderson.
Yeah. John did a fantastic job on the interview.
David Thornton.
And in talking about talking about Convention of States. And John, anything you want to say about that experience?
Well, it was fun. I've had a little bit of radio experience in my past, but this is a Saturday morning talk show called Kevin Smith Reports. And Kevin has been mayor of Anderson 2 different times, and he works in adult protective services now for the state. But he has this weekly radio program that he pays for and gets his own sponsors. It's on for 2 hours every Saturday, and he likes to talk about local issues. Well, several weeks ago, out of the blue, I got an email from him asking me if I would come on to talk about Convention of States. I said, "You betcha I will." So I didn't know how he knew about it, but he and I are Facebook friends. I follow him, he follows me, and he sees that I post from time to time about Convention of States. So he had me come on his program. I was to be there at 10:30 that Saturday morning. This was just a couple weeks ago.
Right.
And I got there, about 10:15, and I just sat down in the waiting room, and he had a radio or a telephone interview with Rokita, who's one of the candidates for Senate. And it finished up within a few minutes, and his producer came out in the lobby and got me and took me in there, and we just were live on the air for 40 minutes. And I didn't, I thought maybe 25 minutes, because from 10:30 to 11 minus some commercial time,
Right.
It didn't happen that way. I walked right in and sat down, and he introduced me, and off we went. And we talked about a lot of things, but I got in some real good plugs for Convention of States, and I just
Yes, you did.
Felt good about it.
Yes, you did.
Me to come back, so I hope to do that.
Well, I've experienced this here in Fort Wayne a couple times with a local radio station, and this was my first time at it, and I was very nervous the first time in, but second time was a little easier. But
radio's pretty easy. You don't know if anybody.
Especially if you've got an announcer that is in favor of Convention of States, and he was.
I was prepared for him to bring up some objections, but boy, he didn't do that. So
no, he didn't.
See, and it was fun.
But folks, John has set a great example for us here. We need to be doing this all over the state, and as Ken mentioned. When we get a media liaison on board, we want that person to be looking for opportunities like this with radio stations across the state. But now, it can be a district captain doing this interview. It could be a region captain. It can be a good, strong volunteer in your district that maybe is good at doing this type of thing, but this is a wonderful way to get the message out. Another avenue to get the message out. So I just want to say thank you, John, for what you did, and you've set the example for the rest of us here in the state. So I want to thank you for what you did that day.
Oh, you're certainly welcome.
All righty. Anybody have any questions for John? Okay. All right. Well, we will wrap things up then. I always like to find a quote that makes some sense. And y'all remember Andy Rooney, journalist? I always liked listening to him. He would sometimes come up with some really good stuff. But this is a quote I found of his. Everyone wants to live on top of the mountain, but all the happiness and growth occurs while you're climbing it. And I just thought, we're climbing the mountain here in Indiana. And yes, it's going to be great once we get on top of the mountain. But in the process of climbing this mountain, there have been a lot of happy times, and there will be more coming. but there's going to be a lot of growth, and I'm seeing some very, very positive growth in a lot of people in our organization, and I think we have some great people coming in that are going to continue to grow and make us a great Convention of States state in the state of Indiana. So I think this is very appropriate. The growth is occurring, and I want to thank you all for everything that you've done so far, and we really appreciate everything you're doing. So keep up the good work, and we will see you then in May at our next call, and I'll get the recording of this call on our Slack channel so you can see the recording. Yeah.
This is Larry Kehoe. I finally got my video working, so I just wanted to say hello.
Well, hi, Larry. Thank you for finally getting on with us tonight.
Yeah. I had to delete the old card and then put your card in, I guess. I don't know how. But anyway, I figured it out.
Well, good. Glad you could make it.
One quick, Dale.
Yeah.
I apologize for being late. I'm still working today. I've been in the Central Time Zone. I missed the time. I apologize for that. Wanted to be here.
Who is this? Is this David?
Yeah, Dave Thornton.
Dave Thornton. Okay, good, David. Good.
Sincere apology, sir.
That's all right. That's okay. I understand. Anybody else have any other comments or questions?
This is Rodney at Huckleberry, the regional director. I'll just say one thing, that this meeting's been awesome and all the things you do. And Diane Gomez, the previous state director's on here, so she could verify this. But I'd say Indiana is leading the nation and the past states and all the things you guys are doing here. It's really great. And every Monday morning we have a national staff team call, video call, and for several weeks now I have mentioned Indiana and the great things you guys are doing there. So the national staff is aware that Indiana is leading in a lot of ways. I just wanted to plug you there. You guys are doing great.
Well, thank you, Rodney. Thank you. Appreciate that. All right. Anybody else have anything to say?
Hi, Dale. This is Ed Paraguay.
Oh, hello, Ed.
We were talking. I heard you talking about numbers earlier. I missed part of the beginning of this call and last night's district captain call, but I caught the tail end of what Mark Meckler was saying. He said that we have something like 3.3 million people on board, over 1 million have signed petitions, but we need about 10% of the population to lead the country in this.
Mm-hmm.
So he's saying ultimately we're going to need 30 to 33 million signatures.
Right.
So we have a long way to go. If there's any consolation, Indiana is one of the states with less population, but we certainly need to do our part, and it would be great to get there sooner rather than later.
Yep. Good. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thanks. Anyone else? All right, guys.
This is Diane. I just want to say thank you. You guys are doing a great job. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Diane. Always good to hear from you. That was Diane Gomez. That was our first state director here in Indiana. And Diane now works at the national level, but she continues to listen in on our state calls every month, so we're glad to have her all the time. Always glad to have you. All right, guys. Thank you very much, everyone, and keep up the good work. See you next month. Bye.
Thanks, Dale. Good night, everybody.
All right, good night.
Good night.